So Friday's lesson, what we're going to do today is try and make a connection between the extracts that you read for your reading section and the writing tasks, because quite often people don't realise there's a lot of help that you can actually take from those extracts. So if you could just copy your title, date and learning objective into your Language 1B book, that would be great. Hit pause while you're doing that and then hit go when you're ready. Okay, so just to start off with, can you just list any, as it says there, list any structural devices you remember the writer of The Silent Land using when you looked at that on Wednesday, and also any other extracts, structural devices you can remember from the extracts we've looked at thus far. We've looked at Lord of the Flies, I think. We've looked at, crikey, I can't remember. We looked at the one of the ship under the water. Rebecca, I think we looked at that as well. So any other structural devices you can remember. Once again, just hit pause and then start again when you're good to go. Okay, so these are some ones that I think you will hopefully remember from The Silent Land of last lesson. So that motif of sound throughout, and that beautiful way of sound increased and then just dropped down suddenly, was great. The dramatic irony, which I think is a really good thing to look out for. Again, just taking a step back to the reading paper. Any time when there's a difference between what the reader knows and what the narrator or the protagonist knows, it is really effective structural device to pick up on. Use of but to begin a paragraph, mark a clear turning point in a text. We also saw ironic foreshadowing. Lastly, just some of the bits, you can maybe remember some others. So I seem to remember in Rebecca there was that motif of the path that was mentioned in every paragraph. I think it started with the path being quite neat and tidy, and it became a ribbon towards the end. Any extended metaphor, I've seen a few of those. A motif of sunlight, perhaps you remember from the Lord of the Flies extract, where the sun seemed to rise to its peak and then drop down at the end of the meeting that they had. Okay, so straightforward today really. I just want you to choose just at least two of those devices, as it says there, and I just want you to write a response to one of the writing tasks that were on that paper I gave you last time. One thing I should point out is that there are two narrative tasks on there. You may have noticed that. That's something you might get, so you need to be ready for that. That is an actual past paper, so yeah, it's not always describe and a story. You may get two stories. Anyway, choose two structural devices that you can try to include, and then have a go at writing your response. 5 to 10 minutes planning, 30-35 writing, 5 checking. Hit pause. What I will do is I'll just jump over to the next slide so you've got that picture to look at, and then if you want to pause, and I'll speak to you in about 45 minutes. Okay, so hopefully you've done all that. Ace, well done. Just to finish up, all I want you to do now, please, I'm not going to ask you to give yourselves a mark because it's a bit tricky giving yourself a mark for creative writing, but I just want to know, really thinking about that structure, just copy that beneath your work, and I just want to know whereabouts you are. Just paying attention with the way you've deliberately structured your piece, the way you've taken on board those things you nicked from other extracts. So just not very happy or very happy, and just explain why. And again, obviously pause while you do that. Okay, and that is us for today. So thank you very much. Well done for your first week of working at home. I hope you are all doing okay there and looking after yourselves, and looking after everyone else around you. I will see you next week for some